I'm testing out this new camera. I know I look crazy, but that's okay. I also have these new mics, which are not working. And yes, I don't have any teeth either. Okay, so let me explain to you who I am. My name is Queen, A.K.A.Misty from the Valley, also known, I'm also Yvette Samuels. For those of you who never seen my videos before, I had a stroke and I just survived open heart surgery. In order to have the surgery, they had to remove 8 of my teeth at one time. I can't begin to describe the pain. Excruciating, excruciating, excruciating. Anyway, a lot of pain. I was in misery for days, to say the least. Anyway, this is my talk show introduction. My show is called Talk It Out with the Queen. And I want you to talk it out with whatever you want me to. I'm not going to redo these videos because I want you to see me for me. The stroke affected my speech. And it's hard to talk. But I'm going to do my best to talk. So you may see me slow down. Sometimes I will stutter. A lot of times I will stutter. And anyway, this is going to be a talk show with a disabled queen. Have you ever seen that before? A talk show with a disabled queen? No, I don't know if I have one. Anyway, I want to say I have the greatest siblings on earth. So I want to say hello to my brother, Les Jr., my sister, Venetia Samuels, Wilson, my brother, Philip Samuels. And they have their families, who I'm saying hello to. Kenneth, Nikki, my brother's son, Les III, and Kristen, and Tashawn. And I want to say hello to all the people that support me and help me any way they can. And I'm talking about DJ Rivs. And I'm talking about his wife, KBI. Those two people have been by my side through thick and thin. And my sister and my brothers, they went through everything I went through. So I want to just give a special shout out to them. My Valley brothers and sisters, I want to give a shout out to them. They haven't reached out to me, but they are my prayer warriors. You're going to see me stop like that. Just try to control my speech. So, a little bit about me. You already know that I had a stroke. My family is also the family of a famous boxer by the name of Emil Griffith. We are also and we're very close to him. He's also my godfather. But he treated me like his daughter. He was an overbearing father who, I must admit, if it was today, I would have shown him more love than I did back then. I just thought he was too hovering. You know, he kept me so close and he didn't allow me to do anything. But I know now what he was trying to do. If I told you this story, he said he was trying to keep me safe, but some things, he put me in harm's way. But he wanted me close to him because he wanted me to be treated as his daughter. Not his cousin, not his goddaughter, but his daughter. He told people in the gym I was his daughter. Anyway, we are also the family members of the late Alvin Ailey dancer, dance master, Dudley Williams. Look him up, Dudley Williams. He was danced for Alvin Ailey for decades. He was our first cousin. My father was his uncle, who, if you read his story, my father was the uncle who took him to his first dance lessons. You should read that story. It's very interesting. Well, it's interesting to me anyway. I'm looking at someone, Lawrence Sullivan painted his picture, Emil Griffith, and my brother, Les Samuels Jr., got me Emil Griffith boxing gloves, autographed. I'll also show it to you one day. Also, so Mr. Sullivan painted other pictures for me too. He's an amazing artist, very talented. Him and his wife. His wife, oh my goodness, she is so talented. If you see some of her things, I'm going to bring some of her things on my show. And some of his things I'm going to show you. Emil Griffith's things. Also, you know, I used to be just like you. I used to work, drive, travel. And I came home one day from work. It was a Saturday. And that's when I had my first heart attack. And they took me to the hospital. And that heart attack, they took me to recovery. And a couple of hours later, I had another heart attack. They fixed that heart attack and took me to recovery. Yes, I know my hair looked crazy. They took me to recovery, and I had another heart attack. I just came home from surgery. I just came home like 2 weeks ago, and I've been gone since February. It was rough. Life support, everything. And my siblings were there for it all. It was rough. But anyway, they took me to recovery, and I had another heart attack. I had 3 heart attacks. And while they were inside me during the 3rd heart attack, I suffered a stroke. You would be surprised how your life can change in moments. That's why I tell people, if you want to tell your siblings or your friends you love them, or someone close to you, tell them now. No, not now, right now. Because like me, I was watching Rosie O'Donnell one minute, listening to her talk about her heart attack, stood up to go to bed, and I had a heart attack, which turned into 3 heart attacks, which turned into a stroke. That was the last time I ever thought normal, talked normal. It's a rough life. Now, I'm the recipient of an LVAD system. I could no longer swim. I don't think I'll be able to fly. Well, you can't fly either. I mean, get in a plane. Anyway, um, a lot of places I wanted to go, I don't think I'll be able to go anymore. But, so do the things you want to do if you can. Do those things now. Don't wait. Ask God to protect you during your travels. Oh, that thing on my refrigerator looks so crazy. I know y'all gonna be picking this video apart. Well, pick your nose while you're at it. I know my this I know my apartment looks crazy. I'm gonna fix it. This is only a test. I'm only see my nail. My nails are long. These are my nails. They're not press on, lead press on nails. Remember that? Lead press on nails. Well, anyway, you can't see this because I ended up on life support. I ended up in trouble. Woke up, had a trach coming out my neck. And my hand ended up like this. Thank God I'm left-handed, so I could use my left hand. I cut these nails so I can do things for myself. But you can see, I didn't cut them all. I don't know. I have a hard time cutting my nails. Anyway, after that stroke, life was never the same. My brother Les helped me to talk. Again, because I couldn't talk like this. This is considered good talking compared to where I came from. And he told me how to string little words together that I would say. If I said a clear word, write it down. And one day, those thoughts and words turned into a poem. I wrote a poem. And when I was looking for paper to put the poem on, I came across a similar poem. Well, I thought it was a poem. It was the song to 9/11. I wrote a song, and then I started digging. Found out that I used to write poetry a long time ago. So I've been writing poetry all along, but never knew it. So right now, I have poems that I want to put together, but I don't have the money to get the book published. It's ready to go, but I just don't have the money. So, hey, if you're feeling generous, my Cash app is $. I'll get back to you. Because I don't know it. I'm going to have to tell it to you. Or if you see it when you see this video, you can, if you're feeling generous, sorry, gener, if you're feeling like you have an open heart, because I can't say that word, donate to my Cash App. I know it's at the beginning of this. I get upset when I can't say words, and I know I shouldn't. But the torture is knowing you should know. That's my problem. I'm aware of things I used to know and things I should know. Like I should know how to tell time, but I can't tell time. The hands, clock with hands, I don't know that. So I have to remember to always look at my cell phone because there's numbers. I know this is crazy, and I should do this video over, but I'm not, because this is me. And if you meet me, this is who you're going to meet. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to pretty it up. I normally have oxygen on, but took it off for this video because I'm trying to train myself to wean myself off the oxygen. Also, I want to write a book about my journey with Emil Griffith. I used to hang out with him at the gym when he was training. Um, other boxers, Simon Brown, uh, Mike Tyson used to come past the gym. Julio Cesar Chavez used to come down to the gym. A lot of other boxers. Matter of fact, Iran Barkley, who was a good friend of Emil's, is now my godfather. He's taking over for where Emil left off. He said he feels Emil's spirit throwing us together, and he's watching me over me now, the way Emil did. Iran Barkley is another famous boxer who I'm proud to say is my godfather. I want to have a ceremony so the world will know he's my godfather, but I have to talk to him about that. I think it would be nice. I have 3 books I want to write. I want to write about my journey, about what it's like to be trapped in this body. There's the old Yvette trapped inside this Yvette. You know, a friend of mine, his name is Dwayne Bailey. I think. Dwayne Bailey. Oh boy, you're going to be mad if you see this video. I forgot your name. Is your name Dwayne? Anyway, Rosalind, you know I'm talking about your brother, Dee Dee. I thanked him for talking to me like a normal person, because people don't treat me normal anymore. They talk to me like I'm 5 years old. They'll come up to me and go, Yvette, do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know how to make people understand. You could talk to me normal, and if I don't understand you, I'll tell you. I don't know why people look up strokes, and there's all different types of levels of strokes. We understand you, it's just can't show you. I know the old Yvette is inside this body, but I can't get her out. I can't find her, but I feel her. There's a zipper somewhere that I can't see. I want to unzip it, and have the old Yvette pop out. You know, when you have a stroke, you are having a normal conversation in your head. But when you open your mouth, this comes out. I can see what I want to say, but I can't get it out. I want the world to learn about the struggles of a stroke, and I just don't have the money to do the books right now. So if you're feeling generous, like I said, please donate to my Cash App. I don't like asking for money, but I'm trying. So anyway, I just wanted to introduce myself. Do you know that when I was having my surgery, I was having a nightmare that I jumped out of my body and I was hovering over my body and I was hovering over my body. I'm sorry. I'm having the conversation in my head, but what's that? Looked like I ran into something with holes, and my goodness, I ran into something. Anyway, okay, so here's the deal. I talk and I forget what I'm talking about. I don't remember what we were talking about, but anyway, I know I want to write some books, and I don't have the money to. Oh, my dream. I was having a nightmare while I was having surgery. I jumped out and I was hovering over my body. And they were operating on me, and the doctor said, she was so sorry. And she told everybody to clap for their efforts. And then everybody left the operating room, and the doctor turned around and said, or the nurse, she turned around and said, sorry, Yvette, we couldn't save you. So sorry. And then she just looked at me one last time, turned the lights out, and left the operating room. And I'm laying there, and a sheet wasn't even put over me. Then somebody else who passed away came up beside me and said they could at least gave you a sheet. And I said, yeah, they should have put, because I'm naked. I didn't have a sheet on my body. It's time for me to get my hair done over. I haven't had my hair done since February. But anyway, that's why I just keep talking about what I'm talking about, because I forgot. Oh, the nightmare. When I said that to him, they should have put a sheet over my body. I said, but wait a minute. This is not the end of my story. That's why they didn't cover me up. They said, not the end of my chapter. I said, maybe you stand to yours. Talking about the person that came to me. He was just another spirit. I said, but it's not the end of mine. So they don't need to cover me up. Then I saw my mother. I know it wasn't my mother. My mother's spirit. My mother said, you can't go. I kept telling her I was trying to leave. Here's the crazy part. I told my mother was in charge of these ladies who were hookers, but they was high-tech hookers. And I said, Mom, I need to leave. And she goes, you can't go. I said, please let me leave. Then a car pulled up, and I jumped in the car. And who was it but Snoop Dogg? And Snoop Dogg said, what are you doing? I said, I'm being kidnapped. He said, get out of my car. I wish I could be kidnapped in a fancy car like this. I said, but I'm being kidnapped. He goes, get out of my car. I said, please don't throw me out your car. I need to leave. He goes, get out my car. I'm not taking you anywhere. So I got out his car. I couldn't believe he was throwing me out. And then he took off. Then my mother said, see, I told you, you can't leave. I said, but Mommy, I have to leave. And at that moment, I heard a doctor scream my name real loud, and it put me back in the operating room. I left the dream, and I was back in ICU. And I saw the nurse lean over like she was listening or trying to see something. And I was trying to let her know I was still here. I'm here. Because I would see her look at the doctor and go, no, nothing. And I was screaming to her. This happened a couple of times. And I would scream to her in my mind, I'm here. Don't let me go. And she would look at the doctor and go, nothing. And I would yell, no, I'm here. And she'd just go, no. And then they would walk away. and I would go back into the nightmare. But that last scream, when I was with my mother, I was able to squeeze her hand, and she felt it. She goes, wait a minute, I think we got her. My mother, my mother's spirit kept me alive. When I came to, the doctor said, we thought you was a goner. We didn't know what to do. All we could do was wait. And I just couldn't believe it. I was experiencing, they said if I went in the car with Snoop Dogg, that was me leaving. I wouldn't have been back on this earth. I was trying to leave. I was trying to die. That devil was trying to get me to go his way, go in the car. Now, I'm sorry, Snoop Dogg was representing evil, trying to kill me. I don't know Snoop Dogg anyway. I don't know anything about him, but I know he was trying to kill me. No, sorry. Snoop Dogg was trying to save me because he threw me out the car, which is weird because Snoop Dogg doesn't know me. But Snoop Dogg saved my life because had he let me stay in his car, I would have died. And the doctors told me, the nurses told me, when I woke up, I would have died. I wouldn't have been here. So if anybody knows Snoop Dogg, please tell him thank you on my behalf. I know he doesn't know me, but he saved my life. I mean, I know God saved my life, and God was sending spirits. I still don't know why he sent Snoop Dogg, but Snoop Dogg wouldn't take me. And whoever he is, I mean, I know who Snoop Dogg is. I just don't know him personally. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Anybody knows Snoop Dogg, reach out to him and tell him Queen A.K.A.Misty, Yvette Samuels, said thank you. His spirit saved my life. My mother looked at me and said, you cannot go. I told you, you can't leave. And God sent the spirit of my mother so I wouldn't be afraid. And he knew I went to her. I would go to her. Odd, right? Crazy. But anyway, that was the latest experience. I've had so many experiences with death where my heart actually stopped. And when my heart stopped, I remember looking at the paramedic's eyes. He looked at me, I looked at him, and all I could see was his eyes open. And then I wasn't in the ambulance anymore. I was someplace floating with this blue sky and diamonds. I think they were stars, but they look like diamonds. And I was floating, and I didn't have a body anymore. So let me explain something to you. People who are worshiping you because you have a wad of money, and you think that that's what's going to make you happy, to have all this money. And you're flaunting it everywhere. I died, and I didn't have a body anymore. So I didn't have a body to put on clothes, to have pockets to stuff the money in. You can't take the money with you because you don't have a body. So fashion is obsolete. So when you see me, you might as well give it to me. I mean, we could all share the money. I can give some to each of my siblings because they can use it. I want to make sure they're happy. I wouldn't keep it for myself. But if you're rich and you're out there, Oprah, girl, we gotta talk. I mean, yeah, you should give me a suitcase, 4 suitcases full of money, one for each of my siblings. Because I want my siblings to experience being a millionaire before they leave this earth. You rich people have too much. You can only drive one car at a time, but you rich people have 15 cars, 25-bedroom house. Now, we talk to you preachers out there who are on the pulpit taking your churchgoers' money and you're driving by your churchgoers. I know there's another word for it, but I just can't come up with it right now. You're passing them at the bus stop while you're driving or you're being driven by your driver. Share your money with them because you're not an exception to the rule. Exception to the rule, sorry. Share your money with them. Pay their rent if they're having problems paying their rent. Pick them up from the bus stop. Don't let them go to the train station. Let them experience happiness. You don't need all these cars. You can only drive one at a time. Why do you need 15 cars? 25 bedrooms, 30 bathrooms. You have one butt with one butt hole. Stop acting like a butthole and spread the wealth. You don't need, sorry. My mind gets jumbled up. Spread out the wealth. Share your money. Just because you look better than everybody else doesn't make you better than everybody else. One house and then build a house for your siblings. Let them have a nice house. Maybe they could build a house for their friends. 3 nice cars, maybe. Maybe you have a car that you shop in. You go shopping in. You don't want to drive a sports car to go shopping in. So you have another car, like your Range Rover, which, by the way, is my favorite car. Range Rover with a sunroof. And I guess I can still drive. I already tested it. I can still drive. And you don't have to watch your children off the sidewalk. I won't hit them. So, Queen A.K.A.MISTY, Yvette Samuels would like either a Range Rover with, one of my cars I would like a Range Rover with sunroof. But my favorite car is a Hyundai Sonata. No. Hyundai Santa Fe. They have the extra row of seats in the back. Hyundai Santa Fe. I love that car. It's like driving my living room couch. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, Hyundai Santa Fe. I may be saying that wrong. With a sunroof, deep burgundy or eggplant. I love deep burgundy. So if you're feeling generous, give me that. Hyundai Santa Fe. That's not that expensive. That's cheaper than the, I just said the car. Range Rover, there it goes. I love the Range Rover. That's my favorite car. That is my favorite car. So, being that you can't take all this stuff with you, I'll be happy to take it off your hands. Okay? Okay. Anyway, And I want to put a bunch of money in my sister Venetia's hands so her and Kenny could be happy, and Philip's hands, and Les Jr.'s hands so he can spread the wealth to his children. They all have kids. I don't. I, all my siblings have children. I don't have children. Uh, but I have nieces and nephews. And I'm blessed with them. God bless me with great parents. God bless me with the best parents. Everybody thinks their parents are the best. I get it. I get it. But until you met Dr. Leslie and Dr. Rita Samuels, you won't know what I'm talking about. They are the best parents in the world. I'm going to put my thoughts on paper so my talking out with the Queen will run a little smoother. The only thing I can't change is how I act because I had a stroke. I'm sorry. I can't control it. But now that I have the LVAD, I want to experience life because they said I can go back to living now. Every week I was being rushed to the hospital, drowning in my own fluids. But with the LVAD, it took care of that. My heart was beating at 20% when they caught me. Imagine your heart beating at 20% when it should be beating at 100%. Mine was beating at 20. I was dying. I was dying. To hear, you know, there was a time in my life, you don't know what you would do if a doctor looked at you and said, you have 6 months to live. Until the doctor looks at you and says, you have 6 months to live. In 1992, or 91, I think it's 92, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor that was closing my eye. I believe it was this one. My eye was getting smaller and smaller. They said that was the tumor coming out of my head this way. It was going to come out this eye. And in 6 months, I would be dead. I didn't have insurance. And my father was getting ready to retire. But he said he would go into his retirement fund and put me on the list to have surgery. But then he would have to work longer. I didn't want that. So I decided to spend my last 6 months saying goodbye to, and living out my last 6 months having fun. I didn't want my father to work any longer than he had to. I love my father, but I did not want people on a train station touching him. So I wanted him safe and at home and enjoying his retirement. Sorry, my spine hurts. So I decided a friend of mine was reading the Bible to me every night so I could be ready to die. And then I spaced off sometimes. I have seizures where I just blank out. Sorry. What was we talking about? What was I talking about? So, I know we was talking about my brain tumor. Oh my goodness, I can't remember what I was saying. So, anyway, I decided to die, but my father wanted to put me on the list. That's what it was. So I decided to look for insurance. But at that time, there was a pre-existing clause, meaning if you knew what you was dying of, they wouldn't cover you. And you couldn't know what you're dying of. So that's when I decided to give up. I know I'm not saying it's right, but anyway, I called a lot of insurances. And I remember just when I gave up, this woman, I believe her name was April, called me on a job and said she went to her manager crying. And her manager said, "Why are you crying?" And she says, "I just got off the phone with Miss Samuels. We have to let her die because she knows what she's dying of." He said, "Call her back. Tell her if she can give us 3 months, 3 months, we can cover her, and U.S. Healthcare will give her surgery for $1, brain surgery for $1." I gave them the 3 months because I had no months to give. So I gave them the 3 months. By the time the 3 months was up, I remember, check this out. Me and my friend was on our way to see a movie when the phone rang and my mother said, "Yvette, you have to go to the hospital." It was the day before I was supposed to report to the hospital, but they said they wanted me now. I'm trying to remember how the story went. They told me I had to go to the hospital. And Supercar, for all you Valley members, Supercar, pulled up. At that moment, Supercar sent me a cab, and it was a white limo. And y'all remember, we used to get the limousines from Supercar. And they pulled up, and a white limo took me to the hospital. And I said, "My God, that's God. He sent a white limo to let me know it was going to be okay." My father and my brother were in the hallway of the hospital, and my father said he stopped the doctor and said, "Doc, what are my daughter's chances?" Dr. Pagali was the surgeon. He says, "I don't know. I'm not doing the surgery." My father said, "What do you mean you're not doing the surgery?" He says, "Well, I'm going to hold the tubes." How do you say tube? I'm going to hold the instruments. Sorry. I'm going to hold the instruments. God's going to do the surgery, not me. But I will be holding the instrument. He goes, "Now, ask that question again." Did I say it? Ask that question again. What are your daughter's chances? I'm not going to do the surgery. God's going to do the surgery. And then they walked and started scrubbing in for my surgery. Unfortunately, they couldn't get all of the tumor out because it took, when they put the picture up in the operating room of what the CAT scan showed, or the MRI, it wasn't the same as what when they cut me open. So the surgery took longer than expected. It took 10 hours. And some of the surgeons, doctors, he said he saw some of the doctors falling asleep. So he made the decision to close me up. Sorry, that happens a lot. He made a decision to close me up. So the part of the tumor is still in there. And I think that's why my life has been so hard with me getting sick so much. But I'm here. The God is not ready for me now. Yet. God. My heart stopped a couple of times. But I'm here. I mean, whenever my heart stopped, people tell the stories of how they have family members come to meet them when you die. Nobody came to meet me. And I'm thinking a lot. I go to Bible study a lot. And people said, if I did see my family members, and I could have went toward them, and I would not be here. Like Snoop Dogg wouldn't take me because I was trying to die. The devil was trying to pull me one way. By the car showing up, God pulled me another way. Snoop Dogg telling me, get out. Always had God. God always had my back. God always has your back. All you have to do, I know you was looking for this. I was going to start saying some religious stuff. A lot of people know me, but it's okay because I love God. I'm not ashamed to say that I love God, and you shouldn't be ashamed either. All God wants you to do is call on Him because He's right there. You may be sitting in your living room, laying in your bed right now. Look over to the left. Look over to the right. He's right there. Call Him. Say, hey, your child is here. God just wants you to know that He loves you. He's here for you. There's nothing too hard for God to get you out of. Ask for forgiveness. God said 99 times 99 times 99 times He will forgive you. Doesn't care what you've done. I mean, He doesn't care what you've done. Just ask for forgiveness. You didn't do anything too hard for Him. You didn't do anything too hard for Him to forgive you for. I'm sorry. I don't speak right. And I know I may not sound, when I play this back, I'm going to sound crazy. God is an awesome God. God is an awesome God. You shouldn't be ashamed to scream it to the mountaintops that you love God. God is an awesome God. God brought me, and it's not because God brought me back from all the things I went through. I love God before, sorry, I'm in a little pain now, before I went through all of this. I remember Christmas. We was able to open up our packages Christmas morning. And then our parents would say, get ready for church. We had to see what we got for Christmas, then put them down and go to church. That's how we spent Christmas, thanking God. But now we don't, well, I don't do Christmas. We don't do Christmas. There's no such thing as Santa. No one said God was born on the 25th of December. We went to church because we love God. God is just awesome. You understand? Simple, and to the point. You don't call on God when you're in trouble. You don't call on God when you're upset and sad. You call on God every second of every day. God is just awesome. Every second of every day. You call on God when you're happy. You call on God when you're sad. You call on God when you're in trouble. Call on God when you're mad. That right. I know. You could be sitting wherever you are right now. Just put your hands up or just look up, whatever. Say, God, I love you. I'm your child and thank you. God, I love you. You know why? Because our steps are ordered by God. Meaning, whatever happens to you in the next second, God knows about it, knew about it. It could be something hurtful, but God's going to be there to protect you. So you thank Him. So you thank Him in advance for what He's about to do, for what He did, and for what He did, and what He's doing, what He's about to do, what He did, and what He's doing. Can you write a song about that? About that? About that? What He's about to do, what He's doing, and what He did. Can somebody in the gospel music field write a song about that? Thank God for what He's about to do, what He did, and what He's doing. Thank Him now. And not because I'm saying it. Only do it if you mean it. Only do it if you mean it. God is awesome. I surround my siblings with God's angels. Thank God for getting my brothers to work. I thank Him for keeping them safe. My brother has to take the train. He works for a funeral home less. Every day I thank God. That's why I want my siblings to be rich so they don't have to take public transportation and put themselves in harm's way. I ask God to surround my siblings with His angels, keep them safe. On the next episode of Talk It Out with the Queen, we're going to talk 9/11. You want to know how awesome God is? Hear my story about 9/11. It's an awesome, awesome story. God showed up and showed out. Tell God thank you for what He's doing, what He did, and what He's about to do. He's an awesome God. I thank you for listening. Maybe one day I'll be brave enough to read my poems to you. If you listen, if you want to listen. To my Valley family, I love you and I miss you. To the Come-Off-Crew, what you gonna do? Baritone on the microphone. Johnny G, turntable rocker, KBJ. Love you and I miss you. KBJ, I'm still waiting for my picture. We have to take a picture together. Come-Off-Crew is the best of the best of the best. Baritone on the microphone. Johnny G, KBJ. These guys are in the book for talent. When you open up the dictionary, talent among talent, John Sally, basketball player, you know, right? Johnny Sally, something like that. I'm sorry I get your name. You'll probably never see this anyway. He knows Timmy Hall, the baritone on the microphone. He used to come to the Valley just to listen to his talent. Timmy Hall, John Sally wanted to hear Timmy Hall's swagger. Now John Sally's talent, and talent knows talent. Come-Off-Crew is he's talent. My siblings, Venetia, Les Jr., Philip, and all their children, those are the best of the best. I love them. Best of the best. Want to know another definition of talent? DJ Rivs. DJ. If you want to sweat out every follicle of hair you have, go to a DJ Rivs party. That man will not let you rest. You will be on the floor, shaking what your mama, what your next door neighbor's mama, and everybody's mama gave you. He has a wife named KBI, sells designer bags. Talent, puts together these beautiful arrangements. Talent. So DJ Rivs, KBI, I love you and I miss you. Come-Off-Crew, love you and I miss you. My Valley family. Remember In Touch? I grew up with Eric Smith. We used to hang out with In Touch. Without you, I don't know what I do without you. Okay, I'm not going to do that to this song, I'm sorry. But In Touch, and there's also Carl Hastings. This is the talent that came out of the valley. I grew up with Carl Hastings, went to school with him. There was dating. You used to go on the phone to try to get a date. It wasn't nothing like it is now. And I ended up meeting Carl Hastings' best friend, Adam. It was dangerous back then, but it wasn't. Those were the good old days. Now I have Without You in my head. Without you, I don't know what I do. Without you. Ooh. Oh my goodness, Sandy. Sandy's no longer with us. Oh my God. Dancing in the Street. My friend Sandy. Oh my goodness. I love him. Miss him. His sisters are gone. He's gone. Sandy. They're all gone. I love Sandy. I hear music in the street. Touch. I'm saying it wrong. I'm blaming it on my stroke. Sorry. I love them. So many people. Rosalind Bailey. My heart is Rosalind Bailey. I love her. She never treated me different. Never treated me different. She heard I was sick, heard I had a stroke, and just wanted to get to me. She never changed. So, join me on the next episode of Talk It Out with the Queen. And if you have suggestions on what you would like the next show to be about, drop me a note. I want to thank you for spending your time with me. I love all of you. This is Queen, A.K.A.Misty from the Valley, home of the Come-Off-Crew. DJ Rivs, KBI, DJ, oh my goodness, Boogie Black. Boogie Black, Boogie Black. He hangs out with Will Trax. One of these days you're gonna see me with a picture with Boogie Black, Will Trax, Rosie O'Donnell. I'm gonna take a picture with them. And I'll be driving down the road in my Hyundai Santa Fe. Anyway, you have a blessed night. I love all of you. And join me for the next episode of Talk It Out with the Queen. Get some sleep, y'all. Good night.